Hello, and what is going on, you guys? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. We have a first post-launch content update on Gran Turismo 7 has arrived. It's version 1.13 to have 3 new cars and a new track layout. How awesome you guys are looking forward to have the new update to have 3 new rides are also to be available. It's now coming in to be on the dealership by every 3 types. So let's go and take a good check on the update details for today. The following 3 new models have been added. So we got 2 versions of the Subaru BRZ S 2021 to be as a real car, and its GT300 to be labeled as a Group 3 class, purchasable at Grand Central to have 2 specific real cars to be in the same manufacturer brand. And also, the Suzuki Cappuccino EA11R 1991 is purchasable from April 26 at the used car dealership. But there is also to have a new layout on Circuit De Spa-Francorchamps to be known as the 24-hour track layout has been added to be as a difference like the full course from the different to be on the same track. But luckily, the comparison is going to be quite giving it interesting in the 24-hour track layout in Spa-Francorchamps. Might be putting up with a pit lane entry to be going extended to be covered up onto the turn 1 exit. Sounds pretty interesting, but I hope I could probably have to take a good look after getting the track unlocked to be progressively to be on the GT campaign from the Cafe. So there are some 3 new events on the world circuits is also to be available on Spa-Francorchamps. The first one is European Sunday Cup 500, Japanese Clubman Cup 550, and World Touring Car 800. Sounds awesome, and we got some more events will be coming in to have some future updates to have the first 3 will be featured for today. Now there might be some new background on photoscapes is the Gasho style houses in Anikokiro and cherry blossoms at night location have been added to the featured section of scapes. But there is also a slideshow option has been added to the auto demo to be featured in GT7. But it's going to be so awesome to have your own photo op to be putting up with some slideshow option to be turned on. But I'll make sure to scroll down to do some other improvements and adjustments, so if you really want to pause this, because there are so many features are now also to be putting up with some improvements and adjustments, and also to have some minor fixes as well. Now this is going to be a very good awesome out there, folks. Many changes to have one short delay to be on this update, but I'll have to make sure to be continue on to be on the full walkthrough in the GT campaign. But you may ever want to pause this at any time to have some other features, but I'll have to make sure to scroll down at any time before finishing up to have some other details to explain. Almost done, and looks like this is going to be the only time to stop at number 16 on other changes and improvements. Alright, now let's go to the Grand Central to have 2 Subaru cars in the 2nd generation BRZ S to be as a 2021 model. Just like the Toyota GR86 to have a well-featured debut from Gran Turismo Sport and currently to be moved forward onto GT7. So let's go to the Subaru dealership selection to have 2 kinds of BRZ X in the 2nd generation model. I'm so very happy about the brand new version as a 2nd generation BRZ S. Just like the GR86, but the style of the chassis is looking different. 231 horsepower at 7,000 RPM, and also to have a displacement of 2,387 cc, 2,800 pounds, and it's also to be as a naturally aspirated. Sounds pretty cool, and we got some good colors to be selected, just like the original BRZ S, but the 2nd generation might have 7 types of colors to be well available to be purchased. There's Crystal White Pearl, Ice Silver Metallic, Magnetic Gray Metallic, Crystal Black Silica, Ignition Red, the traditional WR Blue Pearl, and Sapphire Blue Pearl. I'll have to choose that color, so I have to learn more about the second generation BRZ S. This is the second generation BRZ, which appeared in 2021. Much like the first generation model, it is a wheel-sized, lightweight car with a rear-wheel drive layout. That said, it is a great leap forward in terms of speed and handling. Trust me, you'll especially love how responsive it is on corners. Also, the increased body rigidity and aluminum roof help to reduce weight and lower the car's center of gravity. But that's not all. In addition to the chassis, consider the improvements to its engine. Its enlarged 2.4-liter displacement has contributed to greater power and torque. And tweaks to the inertia and friction of its moving parts have made for better driving in a high RPM range. Wow, looks like the BRZ S is a very good inertia, but it is also to be purchased at 32,670 credits. But it looks very good, so I could probably have to choose this car and register it onto the car index because there's some new available rides for this part of the update. There you go. Looks like the second generation BRZ S is now available to be registered to the index. Alright. Now, let's go and have a good check on the Subaru BRZ BRZ GT300 2021. But this kind of a different livery as a second generation to be debuted in Super GT series in the 2016 season. Looks pretty awesome, and it is also to be as a Group 3 class for only 735.94 performance points, an FR layout, 478 horsepower, 35 pounds, aspiration type is a turbo. Now we got some good color selection for this car, and we have an R&D Sport Subaru is also to be well debuted in GT7. So I had to learn more about this car. This is the 2021 BRZ GT300 that made headlines at the Super GT series in Japan. As you may know, the Super GT is divided into two classes, the GT500 and the GT300. Having competed in the GT300 class for nearly a quarter of a century, Subaru finally achieved a stunning series victory in 2021 with this BRZ GT300. As the first Subaru car to win the Super GT title, it is truly one for the record books. In terms of aerodynamics and weight distribution, it is marked improvement over its predecessor. Thanks to the improved aerodynamics made possible by a brand new BRZ body. Air resistance can't be kept into a minimum, which in turn help to generate downforce. Sounds sweet. This GT300 race car is now welcome to the Group 3 class in GT7, along with the first two original GT500 from the Japan Grand Touring Car Championship. But this car also to be more happily to be joined in to be raced for the GT3 car class. It also costs 450,000 credits to get this GT300 race car of the Subaru BRZ 2021. So I'm about to be going purchase because I still have enough currency credits will be available after spending with some more events on farming for doing Encore Championship events. There you go. 450 collector points is going up onto Car Collector level 22. And also to have a RI GP6 RC Carbon is now available in the driving gear livery editor. Awesome. Now we have two Subaru BRZ to be on the S railcar version and the GT300 to be hashtagged for having a good specific car type. I'm so very happy about two versions of Subaru BRZ, you guys. So now, let's go to the used car dealership to purchase the Suzuki Cappuccino. Is now also to be available on the hot price. Let's have a good look. And that makes a very good price. Credits will be available at $20,000 to get the 1991 Suzuki Cappuccino. 292.35 performance points, and it is also to be as a Japanese K car. Total mileage is 3,168 miles. Let's learn more about the Cappuccino 1991 and he has something to say. Despite belonging to Japan's K car class, the Suzuki Cappuccino is a genuine sports car. It's a lightweight vehicle with a compact body and an FR layout. The engine is a highly efficient and reliable turbocharged inline 3 with 657cc of displacement. Although it only produced 63.1 horsepower, the Cappuccino's weight of 1,543 pounds mean it possessed decent acceleration. The chassis was also specially developed, so the front/rear weight distribution is ideally balanced. The car's tossable nature made it a delight to drive, even for hardcore enthusiasts. Very cool enthusiast K car to be as a real car, folks. I like it. But there's also to have a base color will be available is Cordoba Red. But of course, there might be some other kinds of color in this car will be available, so we have to keep an eye out to have some latest available in stock. So let's go and purchase the Cappuccino to have 20,000 Gran Turismo credits. And this one is going to be the third one for the update. Is now registered onto the car index. 20 collector points, giving a good jump start on collector level 22. Alright, now we see some other cars are also available to be on stock, but this one is also to be on the hot dealership available to have one car is going to be a very good price. So we have to keep an eye out because the limited stock will be giving a reminder notice before April 26th. So let's go exit out and proceed on to the world circuits to try out 3 of the new rides. But this part of the video does not contain to be effect to be on the full walkthrough, just like Gran Turismo Sport to be in a different way. Now, I have to choose any kinds of available racetrack to go with. My recommend pick, heading up to Asia, Oceania to try out one of the 3 new cars. So let's go and take on to have an encore event at the Sunday Cup to be on the first place prize to be selected to use the Suzuki Cappuccino 1991. But it might be possible to have a good check on the car settings. It also have a comfort medium compound tires to be on the yellow. So I'll make sure purchasable for only a quick preparation will be needed when purchasing some available car to be on the tuning shop. But I almost forgot about putting up with some preparation with some tires. Purchase the soft, hard, medium, and soft. Okay, looks like there might be some more available parts to be exclusive on the Cappuccino to have a good engine model of a F6A Cappuccino. But very good to be well guessed to be putting up the engine identification to the lightweight K car. Alright, all done to do some short stop on some errands, and a preview look to see some available purchase parts to this car. I'm so very good to try out with the 1991 Cappuccino, folks. First things first, let's go to Broadbean Raceway to have an encore to have 5,000 credits in the Sunday Cup. But I'll make sure to see some preparation to switch up onto the tires. Racing with the Japanese compact cars is going to be putting up, and racing with a lightweight K car to see how it turns out to be. Despite the absence for the Cappuccino from Gran Turismo Sport to be absent, but it is also to be a very good tiny sports car to be built to be restricted to be on the K car regulations to be as a good plenty of admirers. So let's go and get ready to try this baby out and see how it feels. Gonna have to switch back onto the sub to see how it turns out to be on the test. Let's go and take 2 laps. Alright, looks like it's very good to be drive normally to be on the ordinary K car. Pretty admirer to have a good clear advantage to deal with some good N100 car class. But of course, I'm still putting up with some commentary topic on GT Sport to be carried over onto GT7. So let's keep things up smoothly and go overtake for only 5 cars left remaining. By the look at this interior view, it looks very decent and very premium car ever since from Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6, along with its other version of this same car. So now, just gonna have to keep pushing forward onto the final lap, and here it comes. Gonna have to stay right in, overtake the Honda S660 2015. Very good and a piece of cake. But there is also have other feature from GT5 and GT6. This Suzuki Cappuccino also to be well put up to be as a race modification to have a good lightweight regulation to be part in the Japanese K Cup series. But I mean, this K car is a one big beauty to have a nice tiny car to be well driven in Japan. So final stretch I go and take the checker flag, and there it is. First place by outfitting with a sports tire is doing a test well done to try out with a brand new ride in GT7. I like it. Very good and well tryable for having another Japanese K car to be well driven in the lead by putting up with some different types of tires. So of course, gonna have to start putting up with a daily workout to be on a new day and a new update. I'll make sure the captured thumbnail will be saved a replay to be part on the main memory. But there is also to have a different features on the replay. So it looks like the next one is going to be doing reverse and forward on 1 lap to proceed. Let's see how it works. Not bad. It can also to be proceed to skip forward for only 1 lap to another. But this update is very well impressive to skip forward to be on the next lap on the replay. Now let's go exit out and save a replay for doing car trying out number 1. Speaking of which, by putting up 1 car available is going to be good to use. But I mean, that will be very awesome to be going right back to the garage before using one of the roulette tickets. So time to switch up and try out with one of the 2 second generation Subaru BRZ models is now going to be ready to start out to be on the spotlight. So let's sort it out and use the date acquired. Let's grab the 2nd generation BRZ S 2021. The car type also to be as a hashtag to be labeled as a road car. I'll make sure I have to keep that in mind. And here's the sound of the engine before switching up to a different car. Okay. Now let's try to see the difference on the GT300 BRC. Amazing. This BRC GT300 is all set and waiting for the proud woman to take on the competition. I really like that sound. Very unique and very well impressive. Now let's hear the roll car version. Sounds good. The roll car second generation BRC is a very good engine startup sound like any other roll cars. Let's go back to the World Circuits and choose a different event on Asia Oceania Championship. My pick, I should rather have to go with a Japanese FR Challenge. Next up, high speed ring for Japanese FR Racing 450 will be at the go. Let's enter and go build up with some GT credits to do some sub activity of farming. But I'm always gonna have to do some more events to have different range on prize credits, so I could probably have to get on to the circuit experience. But trust you wait folks, I'll make sure continue on in the GT campaign onto the full walkthrough is my #1 important step, so I could probably have to keep on track before part 22 to do a next driving mission on the Rolling Stone. Let's go and take the reverse direction on high speed ring. Car number 2 is about to go underway. Let's do this and go overtake to have Japanese FR cars will be proceed in turn 1. So you see, this kind of a different interior view in the Subaru BRZ S 2021. Just like the GR86 RC to have a different variation type with the second generation model to be well fitted as an ordinary chassis in the same type. But it looks pretty cool and very average to be as an FR layout. Just like the first generation Toyota 86 GT and Subaru BRZ S back in 2012 and 2015 onwards. So now gonna have to take the straightaway I go, catch up on to Matthew Simmons, take the right side and go on to be in the final sector into the next turn. Very good. Take the inside and go straight away before the final turn at the opposite direction. Overtake Cappuccino in the 2015 Toyota 86 GT with the orange color. That's the ticket. 2021 BRZ S takes the lead. This kind of a car is a very good second generation model, will be usable to be part in the 4th season of the 2022 Toyota Gazoo Racing GT Cup, will be coming soon in May. But we're getting closer at the end of April, so I'll have to make sure to keep on track with the number of date schedule to be on the calendar. Onward to be on the final lap, and that will be a very good, excellent horsepower. We'll be doing a good, excellent opportunity for Subaru fans who can try out the second generation BRZ S from last year to be as a full introduction along with the GR86 GT, but also to be referred as the RC version, just like the GR Yaris. S's turns is now clear. Gonna have to go full speed. Final sector in lap number 2. Gonna have to keep on track and do the inside in high speed ring. Very good piece of cake to be part in the FR challenge from the last race to be in the full walkthrough. Come on, just gonna have to keep it up. Rev up the acceleration on the 6th gear. Straight away in the formation to be at the final stretch. Condition might be quite surprisingly to be changed. And there we go. Right on time and a perfect time before the rain comes. Less percentage, goes drizzle, and all good for now. Car number 2 in the Subaru BRZ S 2021 as a real car is complete. And there you have it. Only one more car left to go. It's going to be the GT300 version in the same year model from last year. But I kind of like the real car version of the BRZ S. It looks very different like the GR86 RC in the same year model from 2021. But we're still currently in 2022. But it is a very good, perfect place to have Gran Turismo 7 to have a best moment to be on the comeback start to be in the main GT series for celebration of the 25th anniversary. Now for the replay to have the thumbnail to be needed. There you go. Replay number 2 will be putting up onto the memory highlight. And last car will be called in to have a best place to go racing competition at Fuji International Speedway. Sounds like a single GT300 is about to be ready to go for taking on with GT3 car classes along with 2 OG GT500 race car from the Japan Grand Touring Car Championship back in the 1990s. Let's hop back into the garage and grab the third new ride. We'll be putting up as a Group 3 class title in it. Alright, current car change. Now, this will be a very good, excellent 5-lap competition to step things up to have a much more speed effort to take a good, slightly focused, the challenging efforts to move on to be in the Japanese racing circuit. One more course to proceed. Let's go custom race to try it out. Full course to take turn 10 at the chicane. Rolling start. Gonna have to go professional if I could probably have to take 7 laps. Change up the custom weather. Gonna have to go organize. SO8. Now gonna have to do with S16. Car category. Now I have to go with a Group 3. Penalty settings will be needed. Okay, time of the day is afternoon. Alright, looks like 7 laps it is. Time to go extended after 5 laps to be on a warm-up. I hope I could probably have to get myself ready for having a Group 3 race to be at Fuji International Speedway. Ordinary price credits to be used in the custom race, and that's how what it is to be as an ordinary Gran Turismo racer, to be as a good driver, to be trying out with new cars ever since from GT Sport. So there it is right now. We have one Nissan GTR GT500 is now entered to be on the grid. So I bet it might be have a Castro Tom Supra will be joining in, but there's no sign of it. Okay, looks like we have 2 Nissan GTR GT500 is now coming in onto the 16th and the 5th place. Sounds like a very good, challenging start to have same liveries in the same car. But anyway, I can't wait to race with 2 OG GT500s, just like the GTR and the Castro Tom Supra will be part of it, to have a very good, successful Group 3 race for only one Super GT300. Now let's go and take the green light to be at the start. And here comes turn 1 at the TGR corner to have a good formation lineup without having a contact. Make room for some lineup in the Group 3 class, including 2 Nissan GT-R GT500 will be currently to be on the lineup. Let's pass on and go quicker to be on the overtake around 7 laps in Fuji. The number 61 represents the 2021 Subaru BRZ GT300 to be as an R&D sport back in 2021 in the Super GT season. But this car is a very good, well-capable boxer spirit in the FR layout. Now let's go and take turn 10 and keep up before many cars are about to be coming in by the contact. Turn 10 through 11, and now turn 12 will be up the hill. We got several AI opponents are now taking the recovery after a slight contact incident. Recovery has been reassured. Now I'm gonna have to take turn 14 and 15 at the nets. Panasonic in turn 16, closer and do the inside. This car in the GT300 BRZ was driven by Takuto, Iguchi, and Hideki Yamauchi from the 2021 Super GT series, and captured Subaru's first ever GT300 to be in the championship win back from last year. The number 61 to be labeled as a GT300 class is a successful race car to be debuted in Gran Turismo 7 for the very first time, along with other Group 3 class to be labeled in the different GT3 regulation. So let's see how faster can it go to take on with Group 3 cars such as GT3 along with Vision Gran Turismo cars to be in the Group 3 class. Turn 6 will be step up to proceed. There's the Renault RS01 GT3 followed by the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG GT3. On the inside of the interior, it looks very good race spec version ready for the BRZ S to be as a GT300 class. Very challenging and very well capable to be well driven onto the track circuit in Japan. Hopefully, it's going to be a very good, awesome interior view to have a race spec version of the Subaru BRZ S, because the handling is also to be well put up with a boxer spirit in the FR layout. Gonna have to keep up and stay focused on the track layout to find your line. And here's O Chavez takes the fastest lap in 1 minute and 41 seconds with a decimal of 865. Let's go for lap number 3. Keep on going. That's how the GPS on Fuji International Speedway is the perfect spot for the Subaru BRZ GT300 can actually to be going well calculated to have a good circuit challenge exercise. It's also to be part on training to be used on the custom race, but it doesn't take effect in the full walkthrough because this update video is all about trying out new rides and new tracks and other features as well. So by the looks of it, on the GPS right next onto the rear camera view, you may also see Fuji International Speedway to have a good directional spot to be on any layouts to find your good inside track. Looks like the BMW M6 GT3 Spirit model just slows down and take the recovery to drop down onto a different position. Now's my chance to have an opportunity to overtake the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG GT3 class in the 2011 model. Kick it up on the 4th gear towards the 5th. RPM is doing a good job out there to be on the turbocharged range. Press on in lap number 4 for only 9 cars to go. This racing equipment technology did a good job made by the team whoever built this design on the BRZ GT300 to be used in the 2021 season of the Super GT series. It takes a matter of work to see how challenging and faster to be on the high rank to be in the same GT300 class back in the last season. But I wondered that it might be some other GT300 car classes could be coming soon to Gran Turismo 7. But it'll make sure to have any kinds of gooder rosters will be selected for any cars for the next update. But what about the Toyota GR010 Hybrid? It looks pretty fast for an ordinary hypercar to be as a Le Mans class. But hopefully, if it's going to be on the Group 1 class, this will be a very good successful start of the opportunity to be in the prototype car class, just like the TS050 Hybrid and the TS030 Hybrid, to be in the same different kinds of versions back in 2012 and 2016 for 2 different racing car versions made by Toyota to be used in the 24 Hours of Le Mans in the World Endurance Championship. So how dang am I doing so far out there, folks? Doing good? And that's how the correction makes a very good spotlight for the Subaru BRZ in the GT300 class to be at Fuji. Let's catch up to the Volkswagen Beetle Group 3, followed by the Land Evo X Group 3, Lexus RCF GT3, and another Nissan GTR GT500 is currently in position number 6. Okay, stay on track. Have to watch out. Don't make contact to avoid a penalty. Here comes the hairpin. Take the inside I go. It's so fun to be using in this car. It is all about doing some boxer spirit in the FR layout. But I can't wait to see how faster it goes to use this car for the Manufacturer's Cup. Going up the hill onto the 13th. Only 1.3 seconds to catch up to the GT3 2017 Lexus RCF. Okay, driving standing grip is doing good. Time to catch up and go slipstream. 30.6 miles since using the car is gonna have to take some good practice. Lap number 6, 1 more to go. Five more cars left remaining. I can't wait to get this car over to the finish line in the top 3. Dive in onto turn 4 and 5 at the 100R. Gonna have to make that good clear overtake on the Porsche 911 RSR. That's more like it. Overtake clear. Now, next up is the GTR Nismo GT3. That's the ticket. Now take turn 10 before catch us up on the Subaru WRX Group 3. Not bad. I hope several GT players can actually gonna have to use the Nissan GTR Nismo GT3 to be as a GT300 race car. just like the GT500 race car version is also to be having a differences between the wide body kits. This one is the standard for GT3 regulation, but only as a wide extended version with some custom modification on the GT500 spec version of the GTR is also to become a very good racing moment for Team Nissan to successfully end the Super GT series before being retired by the Nissan C to step in for the 2022 season. But here it is, the final lap is about to go on. Let's keep it up and catch up on to the WRX Group 3 to enter in 3rd position. Let's try to keep things smoothly in. Okay, very good. Dobbing in onto the gap. Pass on to be on the hairpin in turn 6. WRX Group 3 in the same Grand was been overtaken by the BRZ GT300. Keep it up. Now for turn 10 to slam in before take the chicane in 11 and 12. Okay, tight turn clear. Now for 14 and 15 before the 16 at the Panasonic will do the final stretch. Okay, push it up. Looks like first place is already made it at the finish line. And there it goes. Aston Martin takes 2nd, and the Subaru BRZ GT300 have ended up in 3rd. Good game, folks. Good game for today's update to try out one of the 3 new rides in GT7 for the update. But that was so incredible out there to see the GT300 in action to take on with GT3 race cars. Brilliant and stunning work. So now, I have a 3-star roulette ticket is also to be received for today's daily marathon after the absence from yesterday. But of course, I didn't have much time before putting up with some work on video editing. Now, let's do this capture thumbnail to have a good spotlight to be in the highlights. But of course, having highlights means having a great memory moment in the game is doing some best moments to be shared of. So, I guess car number 3 is finished and well done. So very good and very awesome out there. If I could probably have to put up with some different kinds of racing tires to be on the medium and soft. So let's go exit from the world circuits before moving on to be in the photoscapes. 2 background is going to be well featured to be in the featured selection. Better had to wait for the moment, and here it is. The gas show style houses and cherry blossoms at night. Traditional Japanese architecture and scenes from a spring evening. Now, let's have a good look in the gas show style houses to have 28 different selection background for any kinds of available car whenever you like to pick. Because these kind of good traditional style architecture from Japan is so brilliant. Historically brilliant and best moment in the heritage. Now I had to start out to have to choose any kinds of photo background will we choose. So how about World Heritage Site Gasho style houses in Sukanuma, located in Toyama, Japan. So let's go and pick this background so I'll be prepared to have a good photo snapshot to be well saved for some souvenirs. Gonna have to choose a car and go with the Nissan Silvia Spec R Aero as you may ever saw on my livery editor video. Okay, now this one might be a very good spotlight to have my driver character in it. Gonna have to do a pose. Okay, closing up the visor. Now, perfect time to take a snapshot with myself and the S15 Nissan Silvia. We'll be going a traditional proud Japanese moment to have a JDM tuner car with some good different variation face up from the NOB S15 Silvia. Only in color in red, but my kind of a design is color in blue. Save onto the library, and now let's try out Cherry Blossom at night for a spring evening. 8 different selection is also to be available to be set and locating in Tokyo, Japan. But the nighttime is beautiful to have cherry blossom during the springtime season. Now, let's start out to have the Sofa Dori is now going to be putting up the new features to be in Escape's background. Let's queue for having a photography experience to choose any available Japanese road car. Choosing my Subaru X STI 2014, pending to be turned on for 50 miles per hour to go decrease at 20. Headlights will be turned on in high beam. Gonna have to do a quick organize. Gonna have to move the car over here to a different spot. That's how the realistic is the new way of creativity in Gran Turismo. Preset effects will be turned on. Gonna have to go with nostalgia or painting. Dazzling should be very nice. Okay, calculating on temperature. Should be might have to go with 0.45 seconds. Okay, rendering the snapshot, and there it is. Much basic, almost to become very realistic. But I'll make sure I had to do some how-to tips to make a camera image to become more beautiful. So now, looks like this is going to be the perfect time to wrap this up before at the end of the video for the update. So what do you guys really think about 3 new cars for the update on Gran Turismo 7? Give your thoughts about the comments on the BRZ GT300 as a race car, the S version on the road car, and the Suzuki Cappuccino 1991. But it takes many attempts for some several clips we'll be putting up with some full segment in one video to have much excited features. We'll be putting up with some exploration onto this part of the content. But my kind of the favorite about in this update is the road car version of the Subaru BRZ S 2021 to be as a #1 favorite. The #2 favorite I just really enjoyed to be racing is the BRZ GT300 in the same year model from 2021. It takes a lot of good roping basic to take on with GT3 car classes, just like the GT300 car classes from the Super GT season. And also to be especially at least is the Suzuki Cappuccino 1991. All-time popular Japanese K car to have a 2-door version as a roadster from Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6 as a premium car. Very built to be as a tuner car to be also referred as a race modification version. But I can say, these 3 rides are very good for the first time ever in the first post-content update. But of course, I didn't get a chance to try out with the 24-hour track layout version of Spa-Francorchamps because I'm still in the middle of the full walkthrough. We'll be keep on track and continue on to be in the next part of the video. But don't worry folks, I'll make sure I'll get there to be on Circuit De Spa-Francorchamps to have 2 variations on the full course, and the 24-hour layout course is going to have differences. We'll have to do some comparison. But you guys did a good job out there to have some research about the full course and 24-hour track layout in the Belgium circuit. It's all about having a good tradition to see how the endurance race is going to be turns out, just like the 24 hours of Spa to be part in the World Endurance Championship. But there is also to have one other thing from Sport Mode. The sportsmanship video has made its return from GT Sport to have some further changes. Will be the first time to be on the following update when you first enter in Sport Mode. But I have to take a good look for only one last stop because many changes is going to be the perfect time to start out in the 3rd season of the Nations Cup and Manufacturers Cup in the 2022 series. With the return of the sportsmanship video from GT Sport, which now plays the first time as you may enter in Sport Mode for following the update. This is narrated by the voice of GT and GT Live event Caperi Tom Brooks will be featured on this Equidet video for starting up to be on a long wait before the start of the clip. We might have to go down to do some demonstration. But it takes a while, but I have to make sure to have some looking around to see some changes for this part of the update. Also to have some daily races, you can now choose to enter any race with either their own garage car or to rent a vehicle for the event, and that means you no longer need to own a car in order to take part, and you can even rent a different vehicle for events where you already own one of the eligible machines. So just gonna have to choose a car from the garage or rent an event specified car will be eligible to participate. But it takes 2 choices whenever you're gonna have to keep using as the main vehicle from the garage, or just gonna have to use a specified event car will be used for temporarily. Sounds like many changes is giving us some good news, you guys. That's pretty nice and pretty great for this update is also to be putting up with some other changes before moving on to take the next update later on in the future. Alright, looks like it's time to get ready to wrap this up before at the end as always, and I'll have to look forward on to the next part in the full walkthrough in GT7. Thank you for watching on my video in Gran Turismo 7 folks. I hope you enjoyed. Just go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, and click the bell for notifications on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. And don't forget to follow me on any social media platforms like DeepNetArt, Instagram, GT Planet, Twitter, and more to see for my own image artwork like UDRS liveries, Total Drama fan art with card liveries, and more whenever you're welcome at any time. Hope we see you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.